Ladies, gentlemen, folks, friends, today we merge our three templates into one unified ecosystem of navigation bar, flashing messages, and vice versa. So it's going to be a fun one. If you haven't been following the previous tutorials, highly recommend that you do, and to come to this phase. But if you're coming here, this is basically just a video about template inheritance. We have a basic noting app, and this is our file structure. I can't speak. And we're just going to go ahead and get straight into it. Okay, how do we go ahead and get straight into it? We make a new HTML file. We're going to save this to be the base.html. That's probably conventionally what's used the most. So we're just going to call it base.html. And actually, I could do this HTML5 implementation and whatnot, but what I'm actually going to do instead is I'm going to go to my index file, copy that, and paste it right here. Okay, I want to see which areas do I want in all the pages that I have, because it's template inheritance, and then which places are going to be different for every page. Every page we have should have bootstraps, so I'm going to keep these. Every page we have should have these attributes. It's all going to be UTF-8. It's all going to be English pages. Okay, we maybe want a different title for every page. Okay, so what I can do is I can define a block title. Okay, and inside of this block I'll have the default value, which is noting web app, but otherwise it will have endblock, my bad, and otherwise it's going to have a custom title, whatever people put inside the block title, and maybe we can even do noting web app here, so it shows the title like followed by this and then the noting web app, and this can be I don't know, like a page. This is the default, so it'll just say page if nothing is inputted, or app. I couldn't think of anything better. So we do want the flashing messages in all of them, and this part is kind of dynamic. This is the if g.user, if not g.user. This is the content of the actual homepage. Everything else until now is pretty much, except for the title, pretty much something we have on all of the pages. Okay, so this part, which is unique to the homepage, we're going to go ahead and cut that. We're going to toss the homepage, just that content. Okay, from now on, this is how we're doing things, because we're introducing template inheritance. We'll get to how we're going to link this template in a moment. What we want to do here is we want to do something called block body. Okay, and inside of this body we will put our contents. Okay, so we're just going to end block, and this is officially a template. How do we link this template with the index? Okay, so first and foremost, when we go here, right now this doesn't have bootstrap or anything. Simple, we just do this keyword called extends, and now we can tell it what we want to extend. So extends base.html, and there we go. And now if you refresh our page, guess what's going to happen? Nothing shows up. It actually doesn't care about anything else because it's extending this base HTML, and this base HTML only has two blocks we defined: block title and block body. So those are the only two things we can put inside of index.html. Seems a bit limiting, but it's actually not, because block body is basically the entire page content. So that block is going to be a pretty big block based on what you're putting. So now when we do block body here, when we refresh the page, you can see it comes very nicely, smooth. But it says app noting web app. So how do we go about dealing with that? Rather than the block body, we can do block title now to set a title, and we can just call it the home page, since that's what it's called, and we can end that block. And when we refresh the page, you see this app, it becomes homepage noting web app. So that is template inheritance. Let's go ahead and apply this to all of our other templates. So until the block body, it's going to be this part for the register page. That whole part is already included in the base HTML. And then this one ends here, I think. So we can remove these, and we can basically just do an end block. And that's the block body right there. And this home page is actually the register page now, so we can change that accordingly. And now when we go to /register, we can see that register is coming in through just fine. Let's go to login. Okay, login. We will Once again, delete this entire segment because we don't need that. And we're simply just going to do, I'll just type it. Or, I'll just copy paste it. Extends base.html. The title is going to be login. And we will end the block here. When we refresh now, you can see that we are using template inheritance. It hasn't messed up our structure. You can see it's much less repetitive code, and if we want any structural major changes, we can do them over here. For example, what I'd like, ideally, is we currently don't have a way to navigate around the web app easily. I would like to add a navbar. So what do? I go to Bootstrap 5, navbar, and let's grab a nice looking navbar from the latest Bootstraps implementation. Something that is ideally responsive. I'm just going to full page this real quick. This one looks nice. We can simply just take this one. It is responsive, right? Sorry, honestly, not that important, but let's just grab any of these navbars. Let's take this one, for example. The flashing messages should be under the navbar, so we're going to do this. We're going to refresh the page real quick. We do have a navbar now. That's great. Maybe we want to add a tiny bit of margin at the bottom. Okay, like 3 margin perhaps. And I would actually say that it's probably good practice as well inside of this block body to add some type of like container fluid here rather than doing it in the pages. Not something I'm concerned about doing for the sake of this tutorial, but just something to keep in mind for you. Anybody that is interested in this, you can have multiple base HTML type of templates, and you can basically have a template for people that are logged in, for people that are logged out, for specific types of pages. That's all within the realm of possibility. Not the sake of this video, not for the purposes of this video, so we're not going to get too much into that. Anyways, we do now have a navbar. Kind of just want to vaguely edit this so that we call it noting app, and I'm guessing that this will become a big. There we go, it actually does. We don't need any of these, we really just need the nav links for the home, and we need one for register, and we need one for login. And these should be the proper routes accordingly. Okay, and ideally what we would want is if the person is logged in, we show these. If it's not, we don't show these type of checks. So if the user, if g.user, okay, we know that the user is logged in, then the only thing we really want to show them is a nav link for logouts if the user wants to log out. Okay, otherwise we can add an else. We can toss that here. If the user is not logged in, they can register or they can log in. So when we refresh, we only see logout. When we log out, we see register and login. Okay. Excuse me. And this is a great example of a base template and how we've basically converted our existing templates to support template inheritance. Excuse me again. And that's the end of this video. We could keep going. We could perfect things here and there, but I think this will do for this video. As you can see, we have now a navbar that is on all of the pages, and we can easily navigate all around the place. We don't necessarily need these navigation buttons that we put in there in the past when the navbar wasn't there. Wonderful. Have a wonderful day yourself. And once again, I wish you all the best. Peace, and looking forward to the next video.